Alright, hey you Riven mains and Yasuo mains alike, I'm the Nightwing coming at you guys with another League of Legends video. I know a lot of people have been kind of wondering where our league predictions went. Things just got overly busy for me and JTH, and I have another YouTube channel where I post a lot of content on, that takes up a good majority of my time. Me and him both obviously work. I talked to him earlier today. He went straight to bed after work because he had been up for a while and I had to take a nap. So, I'm working on, getting all of this stuff to you guys, and League is something I really enjoy talking about. And as I said before, the week predictions are going to be coming back. Now, to make them more better for overall people in general, they're going to be clumped together by day 1 and 2 per se, because I feel like that's a little bit more sufficient, so that way you're not missing out on both days of predictions. I think we tried that in the spring split, but things got a little bit more complicated with that, because obviously, like, if we couldn't meet up for the certain day, then I would just be doing the other day prediction by myself. So I feel like this is a little bit more sufficient for you guys right now in general. Obviously, this is something that, you're probably listening to while you're at work or while you're outside or, while you're at the gym. And that's a good thing right now, all things considered. So the LEC is on week 3 right now, and we are looking at a good lineup of matches for day 1. We have Excel versus Vitality. As you guys know, these are both 0 and 4 teams. Both teams are literal train wrecks. I don't really know personally what could go wrong with them. Today, they had confirmed that, they're switching out the bot lane again for Excel. They're bringing in Jeskla and I think Inspired or whatever, or Jeskla and Mystiques, right? So I think that might be a change for them. Mickey doesn't look too hot right now, but that could literally just be because he just came to Europe. He could still be that pretty good aggressive coin flip player that a lot of players remember in that aspect as well. Looking at Vitality, I mean, everything's a train wreck for them. I just couldn't believe what I was seeing out of them. Jizuke basically running it down mid as LeBlanc. Cablishard, he's been playing even better in spring, and now he's came into a worse Vitality. I feel like Cablishard just, after this split, probably should end up leaving, or they build a roster around him, because this roster looks like it's going to be imploded pretty much either if they don't make playoffs, or if they just move into next year for 2020. But for right now, I think that both teams are looking for a style. Some identity crisis are going through both these teams. Sad, I have to predict a team to win, but I think that since Vitality, I'll give them the more benefit of the doubt. It's because Cablishard is the defining factor for Vitality, as like Excel doesn't really have a defining factor. It just kind of looks like they're just running around the map with their heads cut off, and Vitality is just running around the map without a brain. So I think you can kind of get the comparison I'm making there. It's just like both teams suck. I'll just say Vitality wins. I think that they have the stronger players, and that's just sad that I have to say that, because Attila and Jack Troll have been literal just a Tiltla and Jack Troll. They've been literally tilting and trolling. Like, how do you die to Sona Taric level 1? Like, oh my god, that I would tilt off the face of the earth too. Yeah, I think Vitality win this, but if Excel win this, it really doesn't matter. These teams are washed up to me. I don't care what they do during the split later on. I don't care if they turn it around. Right now, what they've shown is that Vitality's shown me their luck is run out, and Excel has shown that they don't know what the hell they're doing. So that's kind of where I'm at with these teams. Splice versus Rogue. Splice looks like they're trying to keep that gatekeeper break into like maybe the top 3. Rogue is looking like they're on an upswing with Larson and Inspired. Larson and Inspired are actually playing really well, in my own personal opinion. Right now, it kind of looks like both teams are kind of figuring out how they're going to play the summer split. Rogue is looking like they want to play the split in a more better and different way than they did in the spring split, which is good. That's a good thing to look at. Splice look like they need to kind of find where Humanoid needs to go. For right now, I'm going to say Rogue. I think Rogue can actually beat them this time around. I feel like Splice have always still been that team that just needs to ramp up when it comes to certain splits, and right now I don't feel like they've ramped up yet, and I feel like right now Rogue can beat them. The next match I have is Schalke versus Origin. Origin look like they're actually still pretty good. You know, I know the strength they've all ever since they came into the league during spring, they've had a hard strength of schedule, and you know they still looked pretty decent even when they lost to G2 and when they lost to Fnatic. I think that moving forward, you have to just look at that. Right now, objectively, Schalke have the better players. Schalke, in terms of their specific style, but that kind of gets countered with Origin when you bring together the players of Origin who have really, really good players, and they know how to play the game effectively, which kind of counters Schalke's good players' good strengths. That's what I was trying to say, because these teams have good things going for them, but I feel like right now, if I had to peg on a team that needs to win right now more effectively, I would say Origin would. I feel like Origin just have the stronger, a few key stronger pieces right now at the moment than Schalke do. I feel like Trick has been pretty good for Excel at the moment, for Schalke at the moment, but I do feel like that Origin's mid laner, Nuke Duck, and Cold could be a big de facto factor into winning against Schalke. But if Schalke do beat Origin, that wouldn't be too surprising. But I'm going to say Origin beat Schalke. Misfits versus SK. So I know I've noticed that we have a fair bit of SK gaming fans on here. That's interesting, to say the least. I will always respect you guys. You guys are always you're rooting for your underdog team. I can understand that. But rooting for your underdog team also means you have to understand their flaws. And SK Gaming, I don't really know if they know what their flaws are, because looking toward these last few games, they've been looking pretty okay. Crown Shot is inconsistent from what I've seen. Like, there's games where he looks like he can be as good as Sneaky, and then there's other games where he looks like he's about as good as HQ. So, you know, I don't really know how to judge him as a player right now. And if you throw that into Hansama is more of a refined player, the player that, you know what you're going to get out of him. I don't know what I'm going to get out of freaking Crown Shot. I just don't. And Dreams is not that good. Whatever people are gassing up in their brains is literal, like, crack. So stop smoking crack, because Dreams is not good. You know, Sakurai has been good. I felt like watching him in the EU Master scene, the Ultra Liga or whatever they call it. I felt like he's been pretty good for them. And it does look like it's an upgrade, and it's been kind of gonna be a thing that's gonna be toward ramping up toward the later end of the split. So that's a good thing for them. And I feel like Selfmade has not made a huge impact like he's had, you know, in the spring split, but I do feel like that with a few more weeks he'll come back into that MVP rookie of the split jungler that he showed last split. Misfits are an interesting team still. You're factoring in for their specific playstyle, they should really easily be taking this match, but I could see SK Gaming taking it, and that's who I'm picking is SK, because I feel like Misfits just aren't still figuring out what team they need to be. They are playing better, but better in terms of a standard that they really shouldn't be playing at is not really better in my own personal opinion. What I'm also going to say is, moving into this match today, they took out Kirei for Maxlore, and that should show you who's going to really win the match. So for you SK Gaming fans who obviously really like this team, yeah, I'm going to predict them to win today. If they burn me on versus Misfits, that's going to be very, very sad. And then you have the El Clasico. You have the C9 versus TSM, the KT Roaster versus SKT, the EDGs versus the RNGs. You have G2 facing off against Fnatic. Now, there's not much to say really about the match per se. Both teams are right now the best teams in the LEC, as I predicted going into the split. I knew Origin would be third, given the fact that I feel like Fnatic have the better players and they have the better overall cohesive style to make it work for them. You know, like I said before, G2 and Fnatic's only worst enemy is themselves, because they know how to play the game. They know how to play the game. They know what they want before they go into the game. They know what draft they're going to play out. They know what picks they're going to play, and they know exactly what's going to predominantly be what their win conditions are. Looking at this match, this is a really, really close match, but I'm still going to give it to my boys G2. No offense to you Fnatic fans, you guys are playing really good right now, but I feel like this is going to be Fnatic's first loss, and if there's any indicator of what that last Fnatic versus G2 match was about, this one is going to be one for the ages. because looking at the Cloud9 TSM game, that was obviously really good, and G2 versus Fnatic always deliver, as these are the two powerhouse kings of Europe. So that's the LEC Week 3 Day 1 predictions. I said Vitality, Rogue, Origin, SK, and G2. All right, day 2 is I'm just kind of gonna wrap this up in a more of a faster way. Vitality facing off against SK Gaming. I feel like that SK are the better team right now than Vitality, and I feel like SK have a real good shot of going 2-0 this week. You also have the next game of Misfits versus Schalke. I feel like Misfits and Schalke are looking for what their styles are going to be, and I feel like this could be a very pivotal match for playoffs moving forward later on in the split. Like beating a team like Schalke and vice versa for beating a team like Misfits is going to be good for both teams. I feel like right now I'm going to say Schalke, so for that. And then for Origin versus Splice, this is kind of just like two top tier teams going at it right now to kind of prove that if Splice want to prove that there are a top tier team, then they're going to have to beat Origin. Though I feel right now Origin can beat Splice, and Origin is the more finesse team, the more smarter team. They have the better players in more key positions than Splice do. So I feel like right now Origin is going to take them. And then you have Fnatic versus XL, and I mean, this is an easy match for Fnatic. You know, even if they lose to G2, they're at worst going to go 1-1 this week. You have to kind of factor in Fnatic have the better players across the board on anything that XL can bring, and obviously Reckless and Hillsing could literally win this game on their own if they really want to. It's something that, you know, XL just, I don't know what they're doing. They're dead to me. I don't care what they do anymore. This team is just, I don't know what they're gonna do to even win a game in the split. I could see them realistically going like 2-16 like Rogue did last split. Like, you know, this team is just a bottom feeder trash. And then you have the last game of LEC Week 3 Day 2 and G2 versus Rogue. A few Rogue games they played last split, it looked good from Rogue's side, but, you know, now that they have the better players, you kind of feel like this could be a win for them. I don't really feel that right now. I feel like it could be like the game that SK Gaming played against G2 where they had a gold lead. I feel like they could get a gold lead if they drafted effectively. I just don't think that they could on average beat G2, and I really do feel like G2 is gonna go like 18-0 the split, or at worst go like 17-1, or at worst, maybe worse, 16-2, because I do feel like they're not really challenged in their own league, and they're just kind of, you know, in their own tier, their own like form of S tier. So right now G2 I'm gonna predict are gonna beat Rogue. So that's pretty much it. See, hope you guys have enjoyed this new little style of prediction video. It's not that I didn't want to use my web camera, it just, you know, using it produces heat, and then I'm kind of trying to stay cool right now. It's obviously very hot in my house, and I kind of like this right here. It's a little form of a little bit of a podcast type thing that I think a lot of people would like, that are watching when they're obviously like, you know, at the gym or at work, or, you know, you just need something to listen to in your truck. You know, it's something that we could all enjoy personally. And I will be doing this for North America as well. So whoever you think is gonna come out on top this week, and the big matchup of the week is G2 versus Fnatic. These are the two kings of Europe, and obviously G2 is ramping up in a lot of fans, and, you know, Fnatic is really trying to bounce back from last split, obviously, and show that they're still kings. But G2 are trying to one up them and be like, no, we're the kings, you need to bow to us. And obviously G2 versus Fnatic is something I really want to see, because that last game they played was the match of the century. Oh my god, that was incredible. So let's see if they can do that this time around with G2, hashtag G2 win, my LEC team taking down Fnatic. See you guys later. Bye. Have a good day. Nightwing signing out, and I'll see you guys later. Have a good day.